Good morning. Of course, as soon as I hit the live button, the dogs start barking. Man, it's been a while. Oh, good Lord. I got a phone call right off the bat. Hey, Sunnyside. No, I didn't forget how to go live. Uh, hey, K Bear's mama. Hey, Crystal Langford. So, what's happening around the tubes? I saw that, let's see, I'll tell you all what I know just from like pop-up videos or whatever, things that pop up in my feed. And then y'all can add to it if you want. Boring, I know. Hey, Bolo. Bolo, you'll probably get a shout out from old makeup mobster. Um, Good morning, Brooklyn Hood. Well, thank you. So, what I've heard recently is that Natasha Cooper has her a boyfriend. I don't know. He looks to be 30 years her junior, from Pakistan. I saw a thumbnail with her laying in bed and him shirtless. Nothing could possibly go wrong there, huh? But I will say, if he's like one of these scammers, he picked the wrong one because she ain't coming off with no money, dude. You ain't getting a green card. You ain't, well, I mean, you might get that, but you ain't getting no money from her. So you done hooked up with the taker, not a giver. So I saw that. And then I saw where Burgundy Blue posted a short of Makeup Mobster calling out, well, Bolo for being in my chat. I don't know if she called me an old wrinkled hag or whatever. So I'm assuming Leanna is still online doing the same thing, pretending like her life is so much better than everybody else's. How great thou art, Leanna. How great thou art. When we all know you're in a loveless fucking marriage, you're miserable, you've pushed every family member to the side. Stop, Leanna. Just leave me out of your mouth and don't be talking about my chatters. I don't get that many. I gotta hang on to the ones I got, girl. So I'm just assuming that's Leanna's thing nowadays. I did get a sneak peek at her jewelry. Now I have always said that Leanna's candles are really nice. I'm not much on her lamps. One of them looked like well, quite honestly, it looked like a dick. But whatever, some people might be into dick lamps. I don't know. But I did get a sneak peek at her jewelry. I do think it looks like something that would be hanging on a end cap in the Dollar Tree. But that's just me. I don't care. I know, Bolo. And now Brian seems to go back. He seems to be like liking comments from like 4 years ago. I heard about that, Sunnyside. Laura comparing her son to Brian Kohberger. Where in the fuck, Laura, does these things come into your mind? I don't get it. Laura's brain is a place that I cannot explore. I heard about that, I I don't, let's see. We got Leanna still doing the same shit she was doing 4 years ago. I'm still doing the same shit, just so much less frequently. Uh, Nobody's moved. Brian's still stressing over Darlie Routier over there, a woman who's been on death row for what, 27 years now. Um, I did catch a video of his the other day where he did a total dox of somebody's home, everything. I mean, he did everything. Everything he could put out there, he put out there. Bolo, from my understanding, it was something to do with the fact that Brian Kohberger is Asperger's or on the spectrum, and Laura's son is also on the spectrum, and Laura's son gets laid, and Brian never did. I don't know. The whole Brian Kohberger thing has kind of like, number one, it kind of bummed me out because I really wanted to watch the trial. Um, I was really looking forward to the trial itself. Um, I wish there was a way to make him tell these people, give them the answers, but the one answer that everybody wants to know is yeah, that's as fancy as I get, Sunnyside. All these people with these great thumbnails and shit, I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. But do I wish that Brian Kohberger would have been forced? Part of his plea would have been, but I don't think he's, the one answer that everybody wants to know is why. And what would ever be satisfying enough to know? What could he ever say when it comes to, have a good one, Sunnyside? What could he ever say to these people? You know, I I, I don't know. I see how upset some of the families are with the plea deal. I also see why the prosecution took the deal, or not took the deal, but gave the deal. It's just I ain't gonna sit here and pretend like I can put myself in the position of these parents. So, but I really was looking forward to watching that trial. I need to give Bolo a wrench, but I can't do it while I'm live or something bad will happen. Yeah, I like to stir the pot a little bit. We'll get to that in a minute. So, other than that, over here in this part of the world, I haven't seen a whole lot going on. I don't really listen to anybody over here anymore. I've been over there. At first I was drawn to the LCU thinking it was, decent content. And the more I'm over there, the more I realize that there's nothing decent about those people. I know, me too, Crystal. Me too. But there's absolutely nothing decent about Keemstar's universe. And the more I watch it, let me tell you something. So Keemstar has this 4th of July party, okay? And y'all probably know who I'm talking about. I've talked about him before. So he has this 4th of July party, okay? And he's supposed to be this big millionaire, lives in this big fine home. The property does look pretty. I mean, it's got water on it. It is a cult, but it's got water on it and blah, blah, blah. But you got old Glammy out there. That bitch had been sleeping in a tent for a week. Now, look, ain't nobody wants to be in a fucking tent for 10 days. Okay? A night or two, okay. But Glammy, go get a room, in Keemstar. You got this big, beautiful mansion. Oh, really, K Bears? Hey, sweet potato. What a nice name. I'm not a big sweet potato fan, but I sure like the name. I mean, like real sweet potatoes, not nothing to do with you. But I'm watching it last night, and they're sitting around this fire. And Xylee gets real. Nothing real about you, bitch. Let me tell you, if you would have got up in my face the way that you got up in Glammy's, you'd have had one thing real about you, and it would have been the pain of me knocking your fake ass teeth across that campfire. Side X, yeah. And then for Brantley, Diddy's daughter slash fiance, to sit there and say, King, why she calls her man Keem is beyond me, but whatever. Can Xylee slap Glammy in the face? That's if I was Glammy, that's when I would have reached over and slapped the shit out of fucking Brantley. I mean, this is a community of nothing but fucking bullies. This world is so ugly. So ugly. And Keemstar adds nothing to it but more ugliness. And people pay for it. They probably made, I mean, last night, several $1,000s. Not as much as Keem will say he made, because he thinks that we can't go over and look at Playboard ourselves. Because he always lies. He always lies. I mean, if Keemstar's mouth is moving, he's lying. Yeah, we have about 4,700 watching us right now. We know our views are down. No, bitch, you have 3,200 watching you. We can see it. Ooh, Remy coming in hot. I can't stand a fucking bully. And that is all that community is. Keem goes in search of the lowest hanging fruit he can pick. He brings them on board, and then it's just attack. And I'm sorry, guys, there's just no amount of money. $1,500 on memberships. You know what, K Bears? Here's the thing about memberships. If somebody goes in and gifts 50 memberships, out of that 50, two of them might re-up it next month. Unless it just automatically comes off their card and they're like me and they don't pay any attention to it every month. Because I got so much shit that comes off my card. Apple Pay, all this shit. I don't know. Batgirl sitting over there looking like a fucking Make-A-Wish child. I'm sorry. No offense to any child using the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And Keemstar hitting on her in front of Brantley. It was like, these people are real. They live amongst us. They actually breathe our air. Xylee's cat dies. And here, when I first hear her cat Pumpkin died, I was like, oh, that's sad. But within 2 minutes, I'm over my sadness Because Ziley don't give a fuck. She's sitting there getting drunk, acting like a badass. Badass. You know what? I've said it before and I'll say it again. And I always have to preface this with I'm not a Savage fan. But I wish that would have been Fat Camp where Savage was versus Keem's Diddy 4th of July party. Because Savage would have stomped you, Ziley. I personally would have never spent any time with you like that. I do not blame Zay Zooted one bit. When Zay said, right. I mean, it's sad the cat died, but I have no sympathy for Ziley. I did for a second, for a second. I thought, oh man, to be away from home and to lose your pet like that. But that bitch didn't feel bad. She just keeps pounding down the fucking White Claws or whatever King drinks pussy drinks. But I do believe Keem is an alcoholic, in my opinion. I'm not saying in Minecraft, because I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. In Minecraft, I do believe Keem is a diehard alcoholic, and I also believe Ziley is one. Hey, Sinan. Yeah, if one of my animals was to die and I wasn't at home, I would be curled up in a ball somewhere. And I would be telling Mr. Ziley, if he even exists, they say he does, I don't know. I would be saying, we got to go. I'm not going to sit and say, give me another drink while I sit here and try to punk out Glammy, who's been told she can't fight me back. Let me tell you something. They did mud wrestling. Ziley wants to say she didn't pull Glammy's hair. The fuck you didn't, you cheating bitch. Oh, that's all Ziley does is sit and scream. I feel, listen, whether you're a Billy the Fridge fan or not, he can't wait to get away from fucking Ziley. And that's who's going to be the new milkers. Except I think it's going to be called something balls. Low cow balls or something. I don't know. I don't know if the alcohol calms him or what, Remy. I don't care. Him sitting there yelling at Rastoff, go get my cigarettes. Go fuck yourself. But of course, Rastoff won't say that. Oh, I'm sorry, Sinan. 18 is a good life for a cat. I would never take off and leave my elderly pet. Somebody said she brought the cat with her. But then I thought, well, she got that cat like sitting, laying up in a tent. I don't know who was allowed to be in the house and who had to stay out of the house. I know a couple of them got an Airbnb. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that something happened to Maggie or Sam. Or, I would just be curled up in a fucking ball. I wouldn't be sitting around a campfire being a pretend badass. Ziley, you're nothing. Less than a year ago, you were saying you would never sign that NDA and that King could stick it up his ass and that everything he does is fake. You're nobody, Ziley. And gosh damn you, Glammy, sitting there taking it. What the fuck is wrong with you? What are you going to do, Glammy? Get fired again? You've been on every fucking show in the universe. He only keeps you around so you can get messed with. guess what? Sweet Tea's going to take that position from you. I don't think Zolly's content was ever any good, Remy. I went back and watched her commentary, and I don't think she was ever any good. Oh, yeah, Cian. The dog piling that they do over there. It's like, oh my God, why does somebody not step up and say, enough, man? Enough. What is your fucking pride and dignity worth? Hey, critters. I literally watched Tina a week or two ago. They were smashing eggs on their head. I don't know. I kind of cringe every time I got to buy eggs. I'm not going to sit and smash them on my fucking head. And she came to work the next day with the egg still on her head. Bitch, you slept like that? Nasty. Nasty. I love critters. I always watch her cooking videos. Or her animals. It's unbelievable over there. And the fact that a platform supports it is just unbelievable. Now, the latest is Mike got mad and quit. You know what? Mike's got bigger problems because he's actually violating a restraining order on the daily. So I would be more concerned that the courts might get wind, Mike, that you basically told them for your domestic violence charge, whether you did it or not. The court said, until this is settled, we're issuing a restraining order, and you violate it daily. No, he's not allowed at the home that him and Bridget shared. But yet he films from there all the time. It's like he's just telling the courts, you know what? I'm bigger than you. Go fuck yourselves. We'll see, Mike. We'll see. But that's what Keem supports. He supports domestic violence. And they can all sit over there and laugh and say, no, who thinks we support domestic violence? Of course you do. Because as soon as the charge came out about Mike, you immediately started sweeping. Well, I know it's not true. How do you know, Keem? Were you there? Oh, I did love the fact that Tina D, the one and only, thank God, she did basically admit last night that Becky did carry all the weight on her show and how much she's having to work now. Thank you, Tina, for admitting that. I just can't stand the bullying, the dogpiling, the bullying, and they pick the weakest fucking link to do it to. Well, not always. Because, in my opinion, I'm going to say it again, what they did to Savage was, if I was Savage, I would already have an attorney. I mean, I just would, but that's just me. And Keem continues to bring it up. He brought it up again last night around the campfire, talking about Savage's puss. Do I believe that Savage went to fat camp, got drunk, got a little freaky? Yeah. But I don't believe she was the only one. And when someone made a call into a show to say, wait a minute, Savage wasn't the only one, that show got canceled. because they said Keem had a little dick. And they were talking about Keem's woman. So Keem went up there and just basically canceled their show, which, hey, go sub up to Madhouse. David Jaffe. If you like his kind of content, go sub up to him. Hey, Kathy Rebuilds. I can't stand the picking on one person. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel about Sweet Tea. Okay? Here's a young woman, in my opinion, child mentality, like a baby having babies sort of thing, from the Appalachian Mountains, poor as a church mouse, poor as a church mouse, has this big major crush on Keemstar. She joins their universe. She's in the Discord. She pops up on live one day. I watched it happen. She pops up on live one day, says something outrageous to Keem, and boom, Keem's like, I like her. I like her. You know what Keem was really thinking? This girl's going to be good content because we're all going to get to dogpile her. And she's so desperate for a few bucks and attention that she going to go for it. And they haven't stopped. Hey, Kathy Rebuilds. They haven't stopped from the top of the food chain to the very bottom. They have not stopped going at Sweet Tea. And I hate it. Exactly. An impressionable young woman who's desperate just to make money to survive. Probably keep her fucking lights on. It goes back to Eric. Eric, who is obviously, I don't want to use the wrong words, but he's obviously challenged in some capacity. And they've made him break down into fucking tears over a fucking Lego video. Highly autistic, if you ask me, though, Remy. Definitely functioning. Definitely functioning. But what they did was they plucked him. They built him up to make him believe he was going to be a superstar, just like they've done to Sweet Tea. And then they just sit and they pick and they pick and they pick. And it can't just be one or two picking. It's Ed. I sent in, me too. I hate a fucking bully. Yes, Michelangelo. They accuse a show of using and abusing him, and he's not even in charge of his own money, according to them. His mother handles his money situation. They accuse a show of using and abusing him and he's autistic. You can't do that, but we all can. We'll make him a host and then we'll pick away at him. We will chip and chip and chip and chip and chip. Ken, I don't know what you did to your fucking head, but it looks like a vaginal landing strip as of yesterday. That is one of the creepiest people I have ever come across on YouTube is Ken from Cafe. Hello, JR. Their show Cafe in the Morning. That is one of the creepiest men I have ever witnessed. And when I say creepy, I mean creepy in a whole different way than Keemstar. And they think we don't see this shit. Keem, do you think you don't have spies in your Discord that are leaking what's being said? Like Ken offering to send somebody into Becky's Discord? You're creepy, Ken. You're fucking creepy weird. Oh, Sin, you can't watch it, man, because that is their go-to. Is that Discord over there is full of individuals who are so desperate to be a part of something because they don't know any better. Batgirl says she's also on the spectrum. Well, a lot of them use that. A lot of them use that, Remy, as it's like, I'm sorry, it's like the whole SA thing, the whole DV thing. Well, I've been SA'd. Well, then why would you sit and go with somebody over it? The racism that just runs rampant over there. These people never, ever graduated from the 90s, from the 80s. Keem, there'll be no racism. There'll be no racism allowed in our Discord. You will be banned. But yet, your second in command goes on a week-long rant about how ICE should come and lock up one of your other host partners because he has dark skin. I agree, Remy. I agree. I agree. I've said that word. I've said it before. It's not in my everyday vocabulary. I can find a lot of words to replace that one. But to be honest with you, Remy, that's on the lower end of the things they say and do. Pokey gaga. Okay. Because Keem thinks it's okay to go after other people's supporters because Becky and Roxy quit, got fired, whatever the circumstances behind it. I'm assuming, I think they both quit. That's just they've gone out on their own, sub up to the Becky Boop show, Roxy Unfiltered. They've kind of gone out on their own and they're trying to get away from all the negativity that the bad habits that they picked up in the LCU. And Keem thinks it's okay to go after their supporters. If you support them, Keem is banning you. Now, some of Keem's biggest supporters also support Becky and them. So what's Keem do? He calls them out on live streams. They get treated like shit in his Discord. Fuck that Discord. You know how many people are still in that Discord and will tell you it's the most negative, racist, bullying, toxic environment. And these are people that are still paying to be in it. I don't get it. I do kind of get it because I see the people that they pull up on panel and I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's go back to Pokey Gaga, okay, who apparently is a Hispanic man, Latino, something. I don't know. I don't know his ethnicity. I don't know. But he's a big supporter. And because he's Mexican or whatever, Keem pretty much puts it out there that he's only good for mowing grass. Oh, critters, I bet it is. I have 2 great nephews that are autistic. Highly functioning little geniuses is what they are. Too smart for their own good. So, because Pokey Gaga is Hispanic, he's only good for yard work. That's the kind of shit they put out there. And then what's Keem do? He invites this man to his Diddy 4th party, and they get a screenshot of him mowing Keem's grass. But that's not racist. That's just all good, clean fun, right? And Pokey Gaga lets it happen while he's paying them money. Lots and lots of money. Pokey Gaga is a crown, which is $500 a month on at least one channel, probably 2 or 3. He throws hundreds during every live stream, hundreds of dollars. And for what? Oh yeah. I have no sympathy for Pokey Gaga. None whatsoever. He's just as bad as the rest of them. And that's the thing. Since Keemstar thinks it's okay to call out supporters, well, I'm going to start calling out his. Let's talk about D Money. Okay? Let's talk about him. Because a supporter that Keem made lots of content on, and not in a good way, has basically left over there and is now supporting Becky and them. D Money, Keem says, and I know I got the screenshot. Like I said, Keem, if you think there's not people in your Discord feeding shit out here on these streets, you're crazy. But D Money, Keem says, I want to know every word that man says. D Money says, on it, boss. I'm on it. In other words, Keem is saying, I want to know every word that everywhere that man goes, every word he says. I want to know it all, everything about him. Hey, TL. And D Money says, on it. Got it, boss. Got it. Fuck you, D Money. You fucking incel loser. That's what they are. They're a bunch of fucking incels. Let's talk about Gidgy, the one that replaced Becky on Queens. I thought, I'm going to give the woman the benefit of the doubt. It can't be easy working next to Tina D. All she does is sit on a couch and grunt and flick her tongue in and out like a lizard and scream how great she is. Right, sent in. So this woman joins Queens. Now, to me, she reminds me of like a cafeteria lady. Okay. But she's trying real hard, too hard. It's embarrassing how hard she's trying. I know you don't. Yeah. And don't bother going over there because it's all falling apart. What I tell y'all a month or 2 ago? Who does Keem want to put distance between? Him and Mike Green. Kid behind the camera. I'm still holding true to that. But you got Gidgy. So she goes in, she's going to fill in on the number 2, number 3 show, Queens. Becky made the show. She's trying way too hard. But let me tell you something. She ran her mouth the other night and she got it back 10 fucking fold from a host that I'm not particularly fond of. I got to be honest with you. I don't like any of them anymore. I used to have a couple that I would be like, yeah, they're all right. They're all right. Um, I can't stand Buff Weeb or whatever his name is. I can't stand that man. Zay, I can tolerate Zay. I'll give Zay credit. She stands up for herself. But Gidgy trying to tell a show how to do their show. Bitch, you're brand fucking new. You don't even know how to do your show. All you know how to do is pop eggs on your head and drink mayonnaise. Oh, see, I really wasn't, Bolo. I don't like Buff. I don't. I don't like the way they all tiptoe around fucking Keemstar. Hey, PF. Long time no see. I really like me some PF. She's old school drama community. She doesn't wear that badge around like some people do, but Gidgy tries to tell these guys how to do their show. So one of the hosts gives it back to her tenfold. Tenfold. And I was loving every fucking minute of it. And she got her old ass feelings hurt. And I loved it. Because guess what? You don't have no problem hurting Sweet Tea's feelings. You don't have no problem attacking that little girl from the Appalachians who's just trying to live. If you all thought, oh, here's a good one. We got some people, and yeah, I'm calling you out, folks. What I put it on my community post. AMAC talking smack, who's from this community, is now over there, and she seems to think she's like supporting better people over there than she did over here. No, bitch. No, bitch. You went from the gutter right into the sewer, and you got Angie uploaded over there. And these two have been begging for a spot. They've been an intern on pretty much every show. They both suck. They're horrible behind a fucking mic. They're not big enough clowns. Um, but what did Angie? Oh, Angie uploaded said, "Oh God, don't bring the trauma people over here." Angie, you have not upgraded, bitch. You have not upgraded. And AMAC talking smack, you're as big a fucking bully as anybody I've ever come across. You're a bully, bitch. And you pay to do it. You pay to do it. So don't talk about the drama crama people because you did not step up, AMAC. You stepped down. Angie uploaded. Yeah, I can't handle it. I can't. Oh yeah, AMAC is a fucking bully. And she got no room to bully nobody. Well, Remy, you're not paying close attention to the chats then. Because she don't have any problems going into a chat and dogging out Sweet Tea while basically swinging from the nipple of Beans. And that's all Beans has is nipples. She has no tits. They create a show called Dolls. They get about 600 viewers. Do you know How many of those viewers are nothing more than men and women gooning over them girls, and they ain't nothing special. Desi just got a spot. You know Desi, who hasn't said 15 words since junior high school? But let's bully Sweet Tea. Let's push her out of her show so that Desi, who doesn't eat, she's fucking mute. The bitch is mute. Oh, yeah. Angie's involved in all that mess. Hey, SoFlo Mama. No, I disagree with you. AMAC is not so sweet. I totally disagree with you. I totally disagree with you. Sweet doesn't sit in a chat and bully for cash another human being. That ain't sweet. Number one, it's stupid. And I mean, you're paying to bully somebody. Ain't nothing sweet about AMAC. Go look at my community post. She ain't sweet. She's desperate, but she ain't sweet. She's desperate as fuck. She's thirsty as fuck, but she ain't sweet. And the same goes for Angie. I will say Angie talks less shit than AMAC does. Get ready because you already know. I don't care, Bolo. I don't care. I'm not afraid of Keemstar and or his goons. I have a bigger channel than, and I'm at like less than 5,000. I have a bigger channel than 99.9% of them son of a bitches over there. Oh, Angie's definitely not as bad. Hey, Miss Leah. I've never been, well, I can't say that, but I was so disappointed to see AMAC joining in that shit. I've seen Jones and joining in that shit over there, and I fucking called her out about it. Because I may go, I've been known to go in their chats and chat and type shit, but I ain't one to sit there and go after the person that's being dogpiled. I'm just not. I'm the one sitting there going, damn, man, get off her dick. It's just a whole nother world over there, and it's an ugly, ugly, ugly world. And I've said from jump, it's fascinating to me that people pour this kind of money to watch racist, bullying, fake, scripted, pies in the face kind of comedy. Because you got queens, and they're the pies in the face kind of comedy. I'm not into it. I wasn't into it back when Becky was over there. I supported Becky because I knew that behind a mic, Becky has talent. The way that woman herself was fucking bullied, she couldn't even go in the Discord. And they still talk about her on the daily. And I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. And I don't like it when they do it to anybody else. Becky broke away. She's doing her own thing. Will it be successful? I hope. Go sub up to the Becky Boop show. Uh, Roxy broke away. Will it be successful? I hope. Savage does much better on her own channel than she ever did over there. Savage still draws 300-400, some depending on the night, she might get 500-600 people in there. She's making the money, she's setting the goals. She gets 100%, well, minus AdSense. So she gets 60% of that money. Over there, you didn't get that. You had to give Keem a little bit and Mike a little bit. Fucking millionaires who don't need your money. Keem would just as soon destroy your show as to look at you. I don't know. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. When, like I said, I went over there back in the days when it was Keemstar, Boogie, Wings. Well, I was back over there when it was Tommy, and it was just 3 or 4 dudes sitting around having a podcast about current events, you know. And what Keem has turned this into is it's a circus sideshow. It's a bunch of fucking freaks. Next up, the bearded woman. Well, they have that. Tina D. I'm sorry. I forgot. They already have the bearded woman. Kissing and sucking on a man's hernia. That's entertainment. And Boogie, I'm sorry, Boogie 2988, whatever the fuck his name is. Just Google him. There's a whole documentary about his loser ass. He is just a nothing but a big blob of useless flesh. And see, I can bully Boogie because Boogie is one of the biggest bullies in that universe. He thinks because he's got a little money coming in his pocket that he's somehow a better human being than others. No, motherfucker, you ain't. And ain't nobody want to see your little mute girlfriend crawling all over you in a mud pit. That's almost as bad. Mike, kid behind the camera, the guy that made AGP, Angry Grandpa, famous. He has his success. I'll give it to him. He has a big bulging hernia on his stomach. And for entertainment value, if you give them enough money, Tina will suck on it. And she did. I think she put whipped cream on it. For the low, low price of $19.99. Bro. Good morning. Yeah, I mentioned you too, Joneson. I'm sorry, Joneson, but your friends have turned out to be bullies. Well, your friend, AMAC, is a fucking bully. I hate to break it to you, but she is. Yes, TL. For $19.99, you can watch Tina D, the bearded woman who only showers with a water hose about once every 2 weeks, who has 2 teeth left in her fucking head. You can watch her suck off Mike's hernia while talking about giving old man Angry Grandpa blowjobs on Thursdays when he was alive for the low, low price of $19.99. Oh, sorry, PF. Wipe that from your mind. Just wipe it. Wipe it. Clear your mind. Step outside. Look at a tree. Hey, Dory. No, I'm just saying, Joneson, that and I'm not going to say your girl. I just know that she hangs out in, your all's chats. She's turned into a fucking bully. I mean, it's just that simple. AMAC talking smack has turned into a bully. flat out simple. She sits in those chats and she bullies people just like everybody else does in those chats. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. And that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I've witnessed it. I've taken screenshots of it. Well, it's true, Johnson. I have no reason to lie on that woman. I don't know her from Adam's house cat. I didn't even know when she was over here. But she somehow thinks she stepped into a better world over there. Get the fuck out of here. You in the gutter, AMAC. You in the gutter. And you're paying to be there. Of course you talk shit to Glammy. Because Glammy's an easy target, Johnson. How about doing the right thing and stepping up? I mean, I'm sorry, but it's like talking shit to Sweet Tea. No, I'm not going to talk about Brittany. You're right, two sides. Because you know what? Brittany J gets bullied too. And Brittany J does her fair share of bullying on her panels. Like, it is what it is. You know who doesn't bully? Fucking Glammy. That's who doesn't bully. Is Glammy. Glammy, who just wants to fit in. Who would give anything to just fit in. Who Keem has moved around to every fucking position he can. Why? Because she's an easy fucking target. Yeah, talking about her kids. Why does it matter? Why does it fucking matter? If she said 6 months ago she has kids and now she says she doesn't have kids, what does her fucking kids have to do with anything? And then for somebody to go on Reddit and post it, fuck off, creep. And that's what I told the Reddit poster. You're a fucking weirdo, and I wouldn't want anybody to know I got fucking kids either. I'm not in that Discord. That Discord, in my opinion, is a trash bucket full of trash bucket people. Yeah. And then while talking, hold on, I'm on a live. Shh. I'll be out in a minute, okay? And then while talking about her kids, CPS comes up in the chat. Why? Why? Because she's decided to keep her life personal? I don't give a fuck. Hey, Puss in Boots. Everybody wish Puss in Boots well. We all know, well, I think we all know that Puss in Boots recently had a has gone through breast cancer. And she got her chemo and stuff behind her, but she's having a little problem with some wounds. And she's got a wound vac, and that's never fun. If you've ever had a wound vac, they're not fun. But she's on the, she's on the bright side of that coin. And but yeah, Jones, and I can't. Like I said, I used to go in there and have just as much fun as everybody else until I looked around and realized what their idea of fun is over there. And I don't like it. I don't like bullying. I don't like the way that autism is made fun of over there. I don't like the racist shit. I don't like it. So I'm going to have my fucking opinions about these motherfuckers. And I'm going to say what I know to be true. I'm not saying this to you now, Johnson, but I'm going to say what I know to be true, what I have seen come out of that Discord. And it's wrong. It's dirty, it's destructive, it's toxic, it's racist, it's just gang pile the just pick a person and make them your target for months on end. And I don't like it. I don't like it when it happens out here on these streets. I don't like Bullhorn Betty, but I don't want to hear her fucking name every day. I don't like Queen Bee. Well, I don't think Queen Bee gets bullied. I'll just take her off my list. I think she is the bully. Um, by the way, I get a free membership to her channel every month, and I have yet to use it. But I don't like the talking about Laura day in and day out. Again, I'm not directing this at Joneson at this point. I'm saying in general. Right, Bolo. I looked on there when it first started. Yeah, PF. But you know what? I'm guilty. I'm guilty as sin. I am guilty. God forgive me, for I have sinned again. But I found guilty pleasure in some of it until I realized what was really going on around me. And I was like, Tracy, who the fuck are you? This is everything you stand against. Yeah, acceptable. But this is everything you stand against. I don't like racist. I don't like racism. I don't think it's something to joke about. I don't like picking on people who are so parasocial that they just, oh yeah, I'm tired of hearing the whole bombshell shit. They done flip coins. A few weeks ago when I was live, you had Amber and Texas Girl. They was on bombshell side. Now they ain't. I don't even know what happened there. None of my business because I don't watch the bitches. But what I saw when I'm when I was over there in the LCU, now if I type in their chat, it's because they don't have it on members only, and I can, and it's always something directed at the host. And it's the host that are doing the most racist shit, the most bullying, the most what God forbid somebody gets pushed to the edge over there. I remember thinking this back when the Jose Zooted thing went down, and her OnlyFans got leaked, and people coming at her left and right on every channel and every, the Discord, from what I hear, because I've never been in it. I mean, I did see screenshots, but it was just horrible, the things that people would say and do to her. And when she had that fucking breakdown, I was like, how far are you gonna push a motherfucker? How far are you going to push somebody? And when you do, your hands are not clean, and I will be the first one there to point the fucking finger at you. Not everybody is strong enough to just take that in stride. No matter how much they divulge of their personal life to each other, you don't know what somebody truly could be going through. And every time I see somebody break down over there and just have a mental fucking breakdown, minus Boogie, because Boogies aren't for real. His crash outs are all fake. But when I see somebody seriously break down And I think to myself, you know nothing really about that person. What if I could never live with myself if I thought my words of being mean and ugly and racist and dogpiling and critical of your family, of your kids, of your home, of your pet, if my words were the last ones you fucking heard and they were mean? I couldn't live with myself. But they don't care over there. It's content. It's content. They don't care, TL. As a matter of fact, they get told behind the scenes, push harder, push harder, push harder. But you let somebody like Xylee get called a cunt. Let somebody like Xylee get called a cunt. And she curls up in a ball and cries. But they can take some little poor bitch from the Appalachian Mountains who don't have a tooth in her fucking head, make her believe this place is going to buy her teeth. Uh, she's so starstruck just to be near Keemstar. And Keem rubs his greedy little hands together and said, yeah, I can make some money off this kid. I can make some money off this one. He don't give a fuck. Becky's A, sweet tea, pigtails, sweet tea, glammy, sweet tea, glammy. Yeah. You're right, Bolo. It's a rinse and repeat on who they abuse. And I'm not saying that these people don't ever say fucked up shit. They're locals, right, Keem? But Xylee did a 3-hour fucking breakdown on sweet tea. When truth of the matter is, sweet tea is a whole lot more talented than Xylee ever thought about being. Right, TL. That's all it is. That's all it is. If there's not drama going on, then Keem makes it happen. Oh, there's going to be drama because that's all the content we have. We're not real entertaining. Keem can be. Keem has the voice for a microphone. But you watch him on live with Rastoff and Boogie, how bored he gets when Rastoff and Boogie are not fighting. Just watching. When Boogie and Rastoff are not fighting, Keem is so bored. He's got his phone. He's going to take a leak. Which he does not wash his hands after taking a leak. I witnessed it, Keemstar. Keem's a dirtbag. Always been one. When they started over there, I asked him if he's in his 20s, knew of Keem. And he said he's a loser. Oh, your son. Yeah. But if there's not somebody attacking somebody else, Keem will make it happen. He will plant that seed because to him, that's content. No, Keem, it's not. You know what was content? Content was when you and a couple guys sit on a podcast and talk about what's going on around the world and other YouTubers. That was content. This is not. This is just flat out cruelty. And again, because Keem seems to think it's okay to just call people out of their names and everything else, people that donate to his cruelty, then I'm going to start calling out his fucking supporters. Let's talk about Coffee Girl, big Tina D supporter. Bitch, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. You're a bitch who follows Tina D around. Wow. Your life goals are outstanding. Like I said, you can talk about other people's you can talk about other people's supporters. You can talk about your own supporters. So can I. I ain't having it today. I'm never going to have it again. I got nothing nice to say to any of those people. Like I said, when I first heard Xylie's cat died, I was like, oh, that's sad. But instead of mourning the loss of her cat, she chose to keep pounding down the alcohol and attack Glammy. While Glammy sits there with her hands folded. How Glammy ever did that is beyond me. I'd have punched the bitch in the mouth the first time she stepped up to me. The first time. When she crammed mud in my... First of all, Xylie, again, you pulled Glammy's hair, you cheating, fighting bitch. It's all for entertainment. But you had to pull her hair to take her to the mud. Because they're mud wrestling, guys. That's what they're over there doing. This mud is full of rocks and everything. This ain't just good, clean mud. Good, clean mud. You know what I mean? You pulled her hair. You had to pull her hair to take her to the ground. And then when you got her down, you proceeded to cram mud in her mouth. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. At that point, Keem would have had to have me escorted off of his property because I'm whooping your motherfucking ass. Because you owed. You got a bum leg according... Every one of them has a bad leg. You notice that? Every one of them has a bad leg. Why? Because you motherfuckers are 300 pounds over fucking weight and do absolutely nothing. Xylie sits behind a desk in a dark room. Bitch, how long's it been since you've been outside prior to going to the Diddy fourth party? You know what I did 4th of July weekend? I went to my cousin's pool party. They have a big pool. I swear, I think this thing is Olympic size. It's that big. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating, but it's the biggest in-ground pool I've ever seen. But I went to their fireworks, their 4th of July party. We grilled out, we did fireworks, we hung around the pool. And then the next day I went to the lake, and then the next day it rained. What these motherfuckers do? They go to their boss's property where they're forced to either get a room or sleep in a tent so that he can tell them to go get his fucking cigarettes. So that they can act fools in front of a camera so that he can make money. Because that money didn't go to the other shows. That money didn't go to Xylie. That money doesn't go to uh, Beans and all of them. That money's coming in on his channel. Now, invite me to your motherfucking house. Tell me I have to sleep in a motherfucking tent in the middle of July. And then tell me I got to go fetch your cigarettes? Bitch. Speaking of bitches, that's exactly what Rastoff is. He's a bitch. He's King's bitch. Not quite as much as Boogie is. You know, Boogie, who says he'll drop to his knees and blow King. When Keem screamed at Rastoff, go get my cigarettes. I swear to God. Exactly, PF. Exactly. And you got motherfuckers over there quitting their real jobs. You got Gidgy, who's been on a show for a week, saying she quit her real job. I don't know what her real job is. Again, she reminds me of the lunch, the cafeteria lady. Nothing against cafeteria ladies. I like them. They feed you, they feed children. I like them. But she says she quit her real job to do Queens. Good Lord. That tells me you weren't a professional. Oh, she's a realtor. Well, you better sell some houses, bitch, because Queens is dying. You can only smash so many eggs, only shock yourself with the dog shock collar so many times. You better sell yourself a couple houses. Get you a little nest egg, because Queens is dying. Because Tina is not entertaining. Tina is video material. She is not podcast. She is not live show material. Again, she sits on a couch with her legs spread open and her gut hanging over and her tongue going like a lizard, screaming. You know who I am? I'm Tina D, motherfucker. I used to suck AGP's dick on Thursdays. I'm Tina D. You ain't nobody, bitch. If you're making all this, that tongue is wild. If you're making all this money, Tina, if the money is so great, why ain't you gone and rented a nicer fucking trailer? You ate up with fucking cockroaches. You got 2 grown men living in there that don't hit a fucking lick, who donate your money to your show. Can I tell you the exchange rate on that, Tina? I know you're not very smart. I know your ciphering is probably a bit off, being from the South Kakalaki. The exchange rate of you donating to your own show, moron, is not good, because you're given, for every $1 that you donate to your show, you're getting about 20 cents back. Now think about that. Right, PF? No, she didn't put no down payment on no house. She sat there last night, looked over and said, "Oh, look where the floor's falling through. We're going to have to rig that." No, bitch, move. You should have moved years ago when your son was heard on your video crying because he couldn't sit in your living room because the cockroaches wouldn't stay off his legs. Yeah, Alper donated $500 one night. And Tina's going to get about $50 out of that back after Mike gets AdSense gets their 40%. Keeman might get their 50%. Whoever she had to split it with, whether it be Becky, Gidgy, whoever. And Tina's going to make about $20. Now, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but if somebody tells me, "Hey, give me $500 of your money and I'll give you 20 of it back," and you act happy, 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 happy. You know what? That's what we need in this world. More Robertsons, like Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty. I know he passed away recently, but we need more of them in the world. Those are good people. They always inflate show money. You know what I love? I love when Keem bots his own shows, in my opinion, bots his own shows in hopes that when it gets clipped, it'll show up as 20,000 viewers instead of 2,700. And then he'll go, "Oh God, we're being botted. Oh God, we're being botted." Yeah, we know, motherfucker. We know there ain't 22,000 people watching you. And then he acts all sad about it. Oh, God, we're being botted. Yeah, we know, King. Just like you're saying, YouTube is broke. Yeah, we only have 32. Now, he'll lie and say, we only have 4,000 people watching, when in reality, it's 2,700. But then he'll say, YouTube's broke. And he'll say, nobody's getting their notification. But here's where he screws up. He doesn't bother to send people into the chat to say, hey, I didn't get my notification. That's what you should do, King. I mean, if you're going to lie, do it right. Tell everybody in your Discord, hey, run over to my chat and say you didn't get your notification so I don't come off as a blatant liar. Because ain't nothing wrong with YouTube. I don't even like your ass and I get a notification. But I love it when he does it. I fucking love it when he does it. And now the other shows are starting to pick up on it. Gidgy said last night, it is summertime and views are low. Bitch, you don't know what the views are. You've been there a week. What are you going off of? Hey, Zero. It's not as bad here right now as it has been. I mean, we've been in the 90s with heat index of over 100. I mean, it might be that bad, but I'm not sitting in the sun. I'm in the shade right now. Like I said, I went out on the lake Saturday. The sun was hot. The water was great. It was like the perfect temperature. The lake water was like, oh my God, it was perfect. Because I don't like the water too cold, and I don't like it bath water warm. The lake was perfect. You had to stay in the lake. Well, the boat has a benopy on it, so you could get underneath it. But so so if you're over there throwing money at the LCU, that's pretty much what you're supporting. You're supporting bullying, you're supporting racism, and I'm going to be the one that's going to call you out, okay? I'm going to start taking screenshots of your comments, and I'm going to post them on my community post, and I'm going to go live occasionally, and I'm going to call you out. I mean, it's what you do, right? When you see somebody being bullied, yeah, humidity's bad here too. Your pool was 96. That's what I'm saying. It gets to the point that it gets too hot to even get in the pool. That's how it was in Florida all the time, though. Every house I lived in Florida had a pool, and every year it got too hot to get in the pool. But that's what we do to bullies, right? We bully them back. We get them to realize what they're doing. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. Nobody, I might not have anybody listen to me. And that's okay. Make me feel better. Because, like I said on my last live, I'm ashamed that I even ever participated over there. And I didn't participate in the bullying. Yeah, I might have something sharp tongued to say in the comments at somebody that I see doing something. It's just everything I don't stand for. And I'm going to talk about it. And I don't give a fuck. I'm all about good, clean fun. And I even like, a little dark humor and, a little edgy humor. I'm all about that. This goes way past that. This goes way past that. Way past it. And to be honest with you, I could wake up tomorrow morning and hear that the whole LCU got shut down. Wouldn't bother me a bit. Wouldn't bother me a bit. Am I worried about those people's paychecks? No, go get a job. Go get a job, motherfucker. Go get a job where you're not going to be able to walk in and treat your coworkers and other individuals the way that you get to sitting behind a mic in a dark room in the middle of fucking Virginia. Xylee. Like I said, I have a feeling something bad's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope anybody over there that feels like they're at their breaking point can take a step back and say, you know what, guys, I can't do this anymore. I'm not gonna be your content. Hey, teacher mom. Um, I don't mind helping out, but I'm not gonna be your punching bag. I hope whoever it is strong enough to say that. But I feel like something bad's gonna happen over there. I feel like they're gonna push somebody to the point where they get hurt. And just like the Etika situation, Kim, you don't want your name attached to that. So maybe try to find people that hello, whistle down. Maybe try to find people that actually have talent behind a mic and put on a show. She's still over there. She's still trying to get noticed. She has me blocked too, Bolo. I can only go by the comments in the chat. People talking into Granny's watching. Granny's watching who got on here and cried and took up money because she was being bullied by Bullhorn Betty's people and or not Bullhorn Betty's. Well, I don't know who was involved in all that. But yet she's over there participating in it. Fuck off, Granny's watching. You blocked me because you're a puss and you don't like what I have to say. Hey, I found Dory. She is. Granny's watching is a puss. I wouldn't have gave that bitch a dime to go to court on. You know what? You sit up here, you run your mouth about victims, and you end up in a fucking courtroom. You deserve it. You deserve it. Right, PF. Right. But the funniest thing is when you have people from over here that have been on their platforms complaining, oh, this one's racist, that one's racist, this one said something racist, oh, that one's a bully, this one's a bully, that one's a bully, but yet they're paying to be a part of the fucking LCU. That's when I had to take a step back. Most of my memberships over there were gifted. I did buy the one to Queens and, well, I think Savage blocked me, so I couldn't buy one to Milkers. But I did buy the one to Queens to support Becky. I think I might have purchased a rewind in the I don't remember, but most of them were gifted. But if you're going to sit over here in this community and cry about bullies and cry about racist and cry about this and cry about that, but you're going to sit over there and participate in that, you're going to get your ass called out. Because evil minds fascinate me, Zero. And Keemstar has an evil mind. He is an evil genius. And people like that fascinate me. Do you know that I actually laid in bed the other night after Brian Kohberger took his plea agreement? And I actually laid in bed that night. I had to take one of my Lunestas because I could not fall asleep for thinking about his mind, his actual, what kind of mind he has. I should have gone into that field. Instead, I chose the casino business, and here we are. I try not to live life with any regrets, and I don't really have a lot of regrets. I have a few. Yes, there are times too few to mention. No, regrets. I've had a few. Yes, that's what I was supposed to say. Dexter. See, I never could get into Dexter, although it's the kind of show that I would like, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. But again, evil minds fascinate me. So the mind of Keemstar, Daniel Keem, fascinates me. But then when I dug just right below the surface, I saw that he's a puppet master, and he dangles money in front of people. He makes them believe they're going to be these wealthy people. But yet Tina D has not even made enough money to go and rent a nicer trailer. She got a new car. Mike Green paid it off. No, I didn't watch 6 Feet Under. What's that about? Sounds good. I don't know. Like I said, I got wrapped up in it, and then I looked around me and I saw the caliber of people. And when I say I got wrapped up in it, I didn't get wrapped up in it to the point I went into any Discord or gave them any large sums of money, anything like that. I got wrapped up in it enough that I was participating in the chats, and I looked around and I thought, I am so much better than this. I am so much better than these people. Hey, Sada. I am so much better than these individuals. And I don't usually talk about myself like that. I don't usually think of myself any better than any other human being. But I am. I'm better than them. So then I got to thinking, Tracy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you even associating? Why do you even want to be seen in those chats? Because if I'm sitting there analyzing the people around me in those chats, then people are sitting around analyzing the people around them. And I was one of them. And I thought, no, 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 no. My mama always taught me, you are judged by the company you keep. That was always drilled into my head growing up. You are judged by the company you keep. And there are just certain people that I would not share a sandwich with. Yeah, now if you're hungry, I probably throw you some from across the room or from across the street or something. But I don't want you, I just wouldn't break bread with you. And those are those people over there. So you're right, Zero. I never pictured myself being into that kind of shit either. But I did. I kind of got sucked in. But then I took a big old breath, went under, and swam out of that shithole. I held my nose, I went under, and I swam right out of that shithole. And now, because it is a public platform and because what they are doing is very public, then I think everybody has the right to stand up and say, you're a bunch of fucktards, a bunch of walking fucksticks who think you're somehow better than other people when you're the lowest of the lot low on the rung of life's ladder. And there you have it, folks. But somebody I love dearly just got a new job and he came in, and I'm going to go talk to him about it. And my life over here is going okay. Got some health issues, but I'm getting older. It's going to happen. I don't know, Sada. Yeah, the big Lebrowski. Yeah, he covers it. Go sub up to him. Um, I don't know, Sada. I don't know what was so fascinating that it did. It sucked me in for a few months. And then I looked around me and I thought, what the fuck are you doing, Tracy? Who are you? I never participated in the bullying or anything like that. I can honestly say that. But And if you try to speak out in the chat, if you don't throw them 19.99 to tell them what shits they are, what shithole human beings they are, they don't listen to you anyways. I did send a super chat one day. Well, I got banned from Milkers because I sent the $1.99 super chat that pissed Keemstar off because I said the truth. And Keem does not like the truth. It is slim pickings. But I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day. I want you to enjoy your the rest of your week. I don't go live that often. I don't have that much to say. Um, I mean, you can only talk, so much about a group of fucking incels that think they're somehow better than the rest of the world. I don't know. But be good to one another, man. Right, Zero. I'm offline more often too. My phone's always right there with me, so I get notifications if somebody hits me up in DMs or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know. I just thought I'd come on and chat for a bit. I hope you guys. I appreciate y'all coming in. I know my numbers have gotten quite a bit lower. That happens when when you don't keep up on your channel. But I was never here to make millions. Um, this was never going to be a source of income for me. Um, but maybe we could do something fun soon. I mean, like back in the day when we would play games and shit, that was always fun. For a minute, I wouldn't want to do it every day. But yeah, you guys take care and I will see you around the tubes. Peace. Oh man, that sounded like Laura. All right, I'm just going to end it with I will see you all around the tubes. Bye.